All right. Today, our instructor is Mr. Michael Huggins. He is always the guy to watch. He is positive. He is always making the most of every situation with a great big smile on his face. And before my voice fails, I'm just going to turn this over to Michael Huggins. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ron. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Wealth Wednesday, Money Monday, Takeoff Tuesday. Where are we? Welcome. All right. Here's something I do know. We have begun the second quarter. We are now into Q2 of our business. So, as before we get into today's training, I just want you to take a quick recap of where you're at. Where are you doing with your business? Are you where you want to be? Are you close? Are you just getting started? Do you even have a plan for Q2? These are things to consider. I made a goal. Vanessa and I made our goal for this year to make $1 million in a 12-month period. Why not? And we are less than 10% off. So we're more than 90% on the mark for where we need to be for Q2 to begin for us to be on track for $1 million this year. So where are you guys? This is an important day, beginning of Q2. There's a lot of feedback and information in the first quarter that we can now use to apply to the second quarter to get more results faster, quicker, more fun, less resistance. But we got to go back. So I recommend that you spend at least an hour reviewing your last quarter. Go back through your calendar, go back through your notes, go back through your texts and your emails, and just get a good picture of what you did this last quarter. And do you want to repeat it? What needs to be changed for your next quarter? We've got to take this stuff seriously. Q2. All right, so we're going to switch over to sharing the screen. I am ready to share my screen. But is it ready? Well, it's figuring it out. What is on your agenda? So one of the things that we, as this team, what we're focusing on, yes, we're focused on being productive. Yes, we're focused on being the fastest growing. But now we're also going to focus on being the most compliant. There is a million ways to sell this product, this service, and only a couple of them will get you in trouble. So Nicole talked about it at the national conference, and I'm just going to simplify it for us on this call. So hopefully you guys have some questions about it. We'll get some clarity. It's easier than you think. Dun dun. Q2. How are you? That's the rhyme for this morning. Q2. How are you? Are you on track? Are you close? Are you far? These are the questions that keep me up at night. Okay, so fastest growing. Yes, that's us. Fastest growing. What about most productive? Because you could be the fastest growing, least productive, but what we focused on was fastest growing and most productive. All right. So we're the fastest growing, we're the most productive, and we're going to focus on being the most compliant. Now, it's super easy to be compliant. I just want to remind you guys, if we see why compliance is a thing, maybe you'll understand and you can self-regulate a little bit easier. So yes, we're the fastest growing, yes, we're the most productive, and yes, so far, we are also the most compliant. Let's stay that way. And when I say we, most compliant, yes, I'm talking about my team, but I'm also talking about Renatus being an industry leader for being the most compliant. We already are. We already are. So if you come across some training or some information, or you've heard some grumblings or some word from the underground that we're not, well, we are the most compliant. The reason why this compliance is coming about is because another company got in some big trouble for doing stuff that people think we might have done at some point. So let me explain. We are the most compliant. What the mission is, what they want us to see, what they want to see from us is that we are giving the least sophisticated consumer all materials necessary for a decision. We're going to talk to the least sophisticated consumer and get them all the materials necessary to make an intelligent and informed decision. Okie dokie. So guess what? For the most part, we do that. We don't hide things. We don't say, but wait, there's more. We don't wait for people to buy to spring more stuff on them. Or we don't change prices, and we don't keep stuff back, right? So we're in this department. We're already the best in the industry. Okay, please don't draw on the screen. Whoever did the blue pen, go ahead and erase it now would be great. Okay, so we are the most compliant. Thank you. We're going to get the least sophisticated consumer all material necessary for a decision. So guess what? This really simplifies our lives, because if we do retail first, if our customers buy for retail first, they buy the education for the education, then when we show them the marketing plan and then become IMAs, by that time we can give them more, right? We got to give them all the material necessary to make an informed decision. So it needs to be an informed decision about the education, and it needs to be an informed decision about the marketing. So if you're combining them at the same time and you're having the marketing conversation and the retail conversation at the same time, are you getting them all the material necessary for a decision? Or are you sugarcoating some stuff? Or are you going quickly on some stuff? This is what I'm saying. If we separate it, let's do retail first and then we do the marketing. Get this sale done, get them in the system, make sure we're done there, and then introduce them to the marketing. It's going to be so much easier. So much easier. We can stay compliant that way. Because when you go over the comp plan, we've got to use that what's it called? The income disclosure. Nicole passed out an income disclosure at corporate. In order to sign someone up on the marketing, you do have to use that income disclosure at some point in the conversation. Okay, so why don't you get them on the retail side first, and then you can bust out the income disclosure and get them signed up on the marketing team. Okay, now speaking of the marketing. Woo! All right. As we are giving our testimonies and whatnot for the education, and we're talking about the money that we're making selling it, one of the rules that the regulators want to see is that when we say how much money we make, if we're going to say how much money we make, we must also say the income disclosure that the bottom 79% of the first year IMAs did not make any money. That's easy to say. Look, the world is 80-20. It comes into 80-20 everywhere. Here's another perfect example. The bottom 80% of this company, they don't make any money as marketers. The top 20 do. So, if you say the income disclosure, and then you say the income disclaimer, right? The disclosure was telling you about certain numbers in the business, right? We have that one page sheet. We'll go over that more on Wednesday. On Wealth Wednesday, we'll go over that. But I just want to go over your language for today. It's be easy. So the disclosure says, all right, bottom 79% of this company, they don't make any money marketing. They're mostly here for real estate investing. So some of them have decided to become marketers. And numbers say the bottom 79% didn't make any money. The 21 percentile makes $205 a month. The 10 percentile, these are for first year people. The 10 percentile is, well, let's make sure I get this right. I'm going to get this right. Because I'm going to give you what I'm going to start saying. Because if I'm saying it this way, and you guys say it this way, then we'll all be good to go. All right. Income disclaimer. Oh yeah, so the top 10 percentile made $1,721 a month. Right? So 21%, 10%, and then the top 1% make $8,500 a month. How amazing is that? So on the marketing side, what it's saying is if you're in the top 20%, you're gonna make at least $205 a month. If you're in the 10%, top 10%, you're making $1,700 a month, and in the top 1%, you're $8,500 a month, and that is for first year IMAs. First year IMAs. So that's a disclosure. You're disclosing how much money people make. Then the disclaimer is the one we're all used to, right? The disclaimer is the one that says there's no income guarantees, right? There's no income guarantees. This isn't a job, right? This is based on effort, right? The regular stuff. You've seen the disclaimer before. All we have to do is add the disclosure that says the numbers. But what's nice about this disclosure is most people are number driven. They're fact driven. They want to see numbers. These numbers are actually going to help us. These are the industry's best numbers. Industry best. This is something I know for sure. As far as being home-based direct sales, are we the best? I'm pretty sure, but we don't have the data yet, so I can't say it. But we are very high up there with our numbers. Right? The average home-based business direct sales marketer in America for their entire life barely makes $1,000 as the average for their entire life makes $1,000. So if they're doing it for 10 years, they're making $100 a year doing it. But our guys, even if you're the 21%, bottom 21%, or the bottom of the top 20%, we'll say that, they're making over $2,500 a month. A year. As their first year. So what I'm trying to say is we're like 100 times more efficient than the average home-based business marketer The people making money in our business, if they put that same effort in another business, they wouldn't even come close. Wouldn't even come close to these numbers. So we are kicking butt. So we have the disclosure, which tells us how much to make, how much people make. And then we have a disclaimer, which tells people that the money they make was not from a job. It was from the sales of this, and that effort was applied. See, this stuff is easy. So if I was having a conversation and I wanted to tell someone about the marketing side, right? They're like, well, how much money have you made, right? Because I can't come out and directly say that. I can't come out and say, well, in the last 12 months, we've made, $595,000. I can't come out and say that. So there's a way. I'm going to say, well, first of all, in our organization, the first year marketers, the bottom 80%, they don't make any money at all. Then the 20 to 10% people, they make around $200 a month. The 10 percentile makes over $1,700 a month, and the top 1% for first year people made $8,500 a month. Now, there's no income guarantees. Remember, this isn't a job. The income is solely based on your effort, and these results we're talking about aren't typical. And what I've been able to do is I'm past that top 1%. I'm above that. So that's if I'm a first year person. That's for first year. That's what I would say. Or if my numbers aren't above that, obviously I'd say where they are. I'm in that 20%. I'm in that 10%. I'm in that 1%. Or I haven't made any money yet. Right? Just use your disclosure. Then what we'll say for the rest of us, peoples who are not first year, we're going to change the color to purple. Okay, if you're not first year, oh yeah. Whew. Okay, if you're not first year, what it came out to again, which is not surprising, what it comes out to again is around 20%. So the 20%, 21 percentile for non-first year IMAs. So non-first year, 21 percentile, they're making, holy crap, guys, $1,074 a month. If you're a non-first year and you're in the top 20%, you're making more than $1,000 a month. If you're in the top 10%, you're over $8,200 a month. Just in the top 10%, you're over six figures. And then the top 1%, is a $34,000 a month. So that's what I would say. Someone's like, well, how much money do you make? Let's say, well, I'm a marketer. I've been in this for more than a year. The average marketers that have been in for more than a year, the 20 percentile, make more than $1,000 a month. 10% make over $8,200 a month, which is over $100,000 a year. And the top 1% do over $34,000 a month. Me personally, Michael, I am over that 1%. But again, this is not a guarantee. This is not a job, and it was all based on effort. That's how you say it. That's simple. Is that simple? Come on, that's easy. Right? That's easy. That's easy. And in Spanish, es fácil. That's easy. That's all. That's all Nicole is asking for you to do. When you are talking about the money you're making or the money someone else makes, if you want to say how much money I make, right? You're like, oh, Michael, you make so much money, I want you to meet him. If you're going to say how much money someone makes in this company, you have to say the disclosure, then the disclaimer. Disclosure, first year or non-first year. Disclaimer, no income guarantees. This is not a job, and it's based on effort. Was that easy? Tell me, guys, was that easy? Thanks, Charlene. I just saw your message there. Yes, so easy. And guess what? By us doing that and being more compliant, we'll actually make more sales, because then the people go, whoa, you're not trying to just be all fancy with your wording and get me in here. You got data, you got stats, and you're being professional, right? Disclosures and disclaimers is a sign of professionalism, right? This is a marketing business. It ain't some backward, podunk country town. We're trying to sell something on the black market. No, we are upfront industry leaders, and it's easy because we're professionals. We disclose, we disclaim, and that's it. Then we tell people what we're up to. And guess what? You only have to do this once they're ready to become an IMA. If they're only talking the retail side, right? If they're over here just saying, yes, I just want your education, right? I just want to be a student, just want the education, then guess what? You don't have to say anything on the income side. Now, there is a disclosure for your income on the real estate side, but we will have some more training on that. There's going to be some webinars and different training. But basically, with the education, when you're making an income claim for real estate, if you're an IMA, you have to disclose you're an IMA. Even if you're talking about the marketing side, but it was way less strict than what we're doing on the marketing side that we need to fix. So I'll pull up more of that. But if we're talking on the education side, this stuff is so much easier. Okay, so something else I wanted to point out, because I think sometimes people don't understand why it's like this. Like what is the context for all this? So let me explain my theory about why compliance is the way it is. Oh, we got a question from Tracy Lewis. So you can advertise on those websites, ZipRecruiter and whatnot, as long as you are making that disclaimer. Hey, this isn't a job. Yes, we are marketing work, but to be clear, there's no income guarantees. It's based off of efforts. And then if you share a testimonial in your ad, again, you got to say, this was a marketer. This is not in his first year, or this was his first year, and here are the stats for that. Lindsay, yes, there's a template for the disclaimer. What is the easiest way to pass it out to everybody? Let's see here. How do I get this uploaded here? No. Okay, I think corporate's actually going to email one out. Lindsay, if by next week we don't have one here on this platform, then I'll just make sure we get one out. But we're actually getting on the call with corporate today to make sure that everything is handed out correctly. Oh, there we go. Ron Hire says we can add it to the documents in our Facebook page. Yeah, we could put it in there. We'll get it put in there. And then that way, Lindsay will make sure you're added to these groups, to this information, and we'll just keep making it simple. All right. So, what I'm about to share is my opinion. Hey, how's that for a disclaimer? Let's see. Wouldn't we be able to find the exact information from a current intro in the slides? Yeah, that too, Beth. This language is being put into all the presentations. Any presentation where we're talking about the marketing side, we have to have that income disclosure. So some of the markets 6-9 months ago stopped doing the marketing on their first exposure. So if you wait till the follow-up to talk about the marketing, then you can bring up the disclosure on the second meeting instead of the intro. Just whenever you talk about the marketing, you need to bring that up. Okay. So the easiest way to do this. Okay. So I'm just want to give you a glimpse into a regulator's mind. A regulator. A regulator is someone who okay, so if we're a business owner, we're a capitalist, and there's regulators out there, right? The regulators, there's a FTC, SEC, AG, 1, 2, 3, ABC, X, Y, and Z, and there's a few more. The point is, these regulators have a certain mentality. That certain mentality, they come from a place where they think if you're successful, you must be stealing. You must be lying. You must be cheating. You must be doing something illegal. That's their belief. They're looking at the capitalists, and if the business owner is making money, then they automatically think, well, if you're doing it, you must be stealing or lying or cheating or doing something illegal. And we want you to prove that you're not. Prove that you're not. Now, it's lame. I know it's lame. It's one of those guilty until proven innocent things. It's kind of lame. But this is why Bob Snyder brought on some legal counsel, so we don't have to prove that we're not. She does. We just keep doing our thing. We just keep marketing, we keep selling, we keep pounding the drum, we keep changing lives, we keep educating people so that they're not falling into traps. We keep creating systems for people so their families can retire. We're doing the thing right. And the legal department in Renatus has all the proof so that when the regulators show up and say, hey, we see that Renatus is an industry leader. We see that you guys are top income earners. And remember, they're just making assumptions. They make assumptions all day. They don't have any information. They don't have any data. We're a private company, so they don't have information. They have assumptions and they have rumors. Now, the challenge is that they can go off of those rumors and they can come start poking and saying, where's your proof that you're doing things right? So, one of the things, and in a way, we gotta have an appreciation for the regulators, because the regulators do find a lot of illegitimate businesses, right? They do find a lot of companies who are out there making things up and stealing people's money. So in a way, the regulators are good, and in another way, because of their mindset, they're not so helpful with people who are following all the rules. So they do find the bad guys, and they do shut them down. But what makes them bad, right? Unfortunately, a marketer who's breaking a rule forces a whole company to fall into the bad, quote unquote, bad area, right? So bad guys who are stealing money fall into the same category as the bad guys who are marketing incorrectly. So as long as we are marketing correctly, and we're keeping things on the up and up, then when they do come and look and they go, oh, wow, you're making your disclosures, you're making your disclaimers, all the ads look fine. All right, we'll move on to the next. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, if you want to be this big and you want to grow this much and you want to influence this many people, you just have to prove that you're not doing these things. It's a regulator mindset. They're not capitalists. They're totally employee mindset. And so subconsciously, they're a little offended when capitalists make a lot of money because of their thought process. They think that someone was stealing or lying to get that money. So they make assumptions. We show them that we're good to go, and then we can carry on about our business. So remember what I said, one of the first things that they're looking for is, are you providing the least sophisticated consumer all the necessary material to make an informed decision? Sophisticated consumer, all material to make an informed decision. That's it. So if we're like, yeah, look at our testimonials. Here's our sheet. Here's our PowerPoints. Check it out. There we go. But if we're saying things like, hey, we promise that you'll make this much money in this much time, then the regulators go, see? I knew it. You were lying. You were lying. No one, the least sophisticated consumer can't make $100,000 in 90 days. You're lying. That's the mindset they have. So to just avoid those, all we're going to do is stay compliant with our ads, make sure that they're not promising income or promising jobs or promising a position in the company, anything like that, right? No apprentices or interns, anything like that. As a marketing affiliate, again, you're your own business, you're your own American, right? But as a marketing, we're not an affiliate. These are the things you cannot do. Beth says, gee whiz. Oh man, starting out with some swear words. Gee whiz. It's like them having probable cause to search, examine, scrutinize, so we are prepared ahead of the curve. Yes. Yes, ma'am. That's it. Since we know they're going to look at some point because of the direction we're headed with the growth we have, guys, we really could this year, if not next, be a $100 million company. We're really close to that. So we just got to keep our noses clean, right? It's like when you're going that fast on the Autobahn, you got to have better parts and better tires and better everything. So we're just upgrading so we can go faster. It's happening. Okay. So there's a game we're going to play. It's called 3 a Day. And I can spell. 3 a Day is the name of the game. Oh, okay, Valerie, good point. I'm talking about signs. This is what I changed on my signs. So I love being compliant. I'm pretty sure this is compliant. So here's my sign. And I write out real estate investing students wanted. Unlimited income potential. That's how I'm writing it, Valerie. Real estate investing, students wanted, unlimited income potential. Now I'm not saying trainee, I'm not saying apprentice, I'm not saying a dollar amount, I'm not saying a time period. That's what the regulator is saying. You can't, if you're in a home-based business, income opportunity type business, you can't promise amounts of income and you can't promise a time period. You can't even mention it. So, unlimited income potential. Real estate investing students wanted, unlimited income potential. Now, remember to be compliant with bandit signs. You've got to look up your area's code. There's a code where and when you can put out signs. Some say never, some say weekends, some say as long as you have a permit, some say if you leave it on this strip of the grass, some say if you put them here, if they're this size. So everyone's different. Every city is different. Some cities don't care at all about bandit signs. So just remember, Valerie, you can make the wording compliant, but you also have to make the placement compliant. Okay, Rebecca, one of the banks that I used to work for, lost a lawsuit that dealt with compliance. The fine was $9 million. Yes, follow rules. Is there a more targeted sign that would use? What the? Siri, what are you doing? She's taking over. A more targeted sign that you would use. No, this one I really like, Charlene, for a couple reasons. One, it doesn't make people ask me about job stuff. So these last about 6 weeks or so, I've been trying out this message, and the words and the people I'm getting, they're prepared for a student mindset. They're not prepared for a job. They're not saying, well, where's this real estate investor that's seeking a trainee? Where can I find him or her? So you don't have anything like that. These, the wording on here doesn't promote this job mentality. It promotes student mentality. So what I found is people showing up ready to be a student and people who are students going to college or whatever, right? They're students wanted, real estate investing, students wanted. So they think, well, hey, I'm a student. You must want me. I want to get into real estate. You say, great. So as far as for the marketing side, a bandit sign. I guess for marketing, I would put this. Let's play around for a second. Let's see what we got here. Okay, here's our sign. I would put for marketing, I would put super sales reps wanted. Let's see. Part-time work from home. No wimps allowed. I think if we did something like that, we're super compliant, and you also won't get a bunch of calls from people who are wimps. You put no wimps allowed. Super sales reps wanted, part-time, work from home, no wimps allowed. Or you could just put part-time, or you could put in the real estate industry, something like that. No wimps allowed, though, is important because you don't want people saying, well, will you generate the leads for me? No, man, we give you 10 grand in commission because you generate your own damn leads. Sometimes these people are confused. Yay for compliance. Most productive, fastest growing, most compliant team in the nation, most compliant company in the industry. Okay. It's a beautiful thing. So it's time to get people to look at this information. It is time for your people to get acquainted with Renatus and who we are and what we do. So I found the best way to organize and to meet and attract people is to do a three-way call. Some people were asking me earlier, what's the best way to approach someone and get them to attend the meeting? To me, it's either, right now, what we've been really successful with is a three-way call. Super simple. You got to have your top 25. So there's the student, right, or the new affiliate, and then there's the 5-star. So the student's going to bring their top 25 warm market leads. Okay, we're going to block out, plan on 3 to 4 hours for both of you, 3 to 4 hours. And what the student's going to do is say, hey, I realize caught you off guard, or this is out of the blue, but I was just having a great conversation. So I was just having a great conversation with one of my mentors. Or let's not use mentor. Let's use with one of my colleagues. Just having a great conversation with one of my colleagues about real estate. This is a key. You want to talk about real estate. About real estate and what he or she is up to. Okay, so you say, hey man, hey, what's up, Jared? Hey, I realized I caught you off guard. I was just having a conversation with a colleague of mine about real estate and what he or she is up to. And man, they are crushing it. And I thought I'd just give you a call. They are crushing it. I thought I'd give you a call. I hope you don't mind, but I have him on the line. Just like that. Hey, Jared. How's it going? Hey, real quick, I realized I caught you off guard, but I was just having a great conversation with a colleague of mine about real estate and what he's up to. And they are crushing it, and I hope you don't mind right now, but I actually have him on the line. He's got me inspired with what we're doing, and so he said, who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know that's interested in real estate? Or who do you know that has a great work ethic? Or who do you know that that wants to make more money? And I thought of you. And then the 5-star is going to say, hey, this was my idea. Your friend was saying some great things about you. So, like I said, says great things about you. So it's totally my idea to give you a call. And like I said, it was my idea. And I don't know where you're at. I don't know if business is up. Maybe everything is going right. But I have a question for you. Have you ever considered getting involved in real estate? That's it. Then if they say no, you say, all right, well, no worries. It's a wonderful way to secure your retirement, tax-free, get to involve it with your kids. That's great. But if everything's set for you, wonderful. We just thought we'd let you know We're up to real estate. If you come across anything real estate, think of us. Have a wonderful day. Simple, simple. And if they say, yes, I have thought of it, and you say, great. And then you just build for the next event, whether it's a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Saturday. It's time to get to work, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, teammates. It's time to get to work. This is the work you should be getting on. It takes 3 to 4 hours to call 25 people. You get 10 to 15 people booked to events. You're going to start making money. Okay, time to hop on our next call. Get to work, guys. Thanks for being here. We will talk to you soon.